Thank you.
Travis, I also want to inform you of something. I have a YouTube channel, and
Hmm.
this debate, the replays are on. This debate with me and you, is going on the channel, and you're gonna look. It's gonna be like really embarrassing. It's gonna be immortalized for eternity on the internet.
No, I'm very excited for that,
People are gonna
actually.
be laughing at you. I'm gonna send you the link after I upload it, so you can read the comments of everybody making fun of you.
Thank you, mommy.
How do you have so little self-awareness to not realize that people would laugh at you bragging as if you accomplished anything whatsoever?
Not my
It's
YouTube
insane to me.
audience. My YouTube audience is gonna be laughing at this guy.
Well,
So
Did
they're
you
the
see
like
he
you
thing,
then,
the
started
thing
out?
that
the
you have to
system.
understand. So, Jarl, the thing that you have to understand is organization in the
That doesn't
universe
say
that I
anything about
find
design
it.
or intellect at all.
I think that repeating patterns are definitely
No, not at
something
all.
that
Not at all.
is worth looking
What's the
at.
argument that complexity or a repeating pattern indicates that an intellect is responsible for that?
Sir, you believe in
Watch this.
snowflakes, right? You don't think that a god, Travis, you don't think that a god sat there. Look how intricate and complex and how patterned snowflakes are in there. There's no two snowflakes alike. Don't tell me you're just being dishonest if you sit there and tell me that you think God created each individual snowflake. You think that shit occurs naturally.
I
So
mean,
get the
I
fuck
mean,
out of here, bitch.
an
Get the
argument,
fuck out of
an
here with your complexity and
an
patterns.
an argument
Well, there you go.
absolutely could be made that the intricacy itself indicates
No,
the
it's not,
potential of.
Travis, that's easy to explain. You understand, and I think you would agree with this pretty much immediately. Complexity and simplicity are things that we observe in things that are designed, that we know are designed, correct?
I feel like Travis has a good
No, he
point.
was bringing up complexity, intricacy, entailing that a mind and intellect must necessarily be involved. But in design, in mind, intellect involved design that we know, that we
Well,
observe mind being involved.
hold on.
Hold
Where
on.
did
No,
I
Travis,
say
let me finish.
necessarily? You're putting words in my mouth. Don't put words
No,
in my
let me
mouth.
finish. Let me finish. If we observe complexity and simplicity in design, why would complexity necessarily entail intelligence being involved?
Well, don't put
Because we
words in my
observe
mouth. I didn't
humans
say
making complex machines
Why would
I
it be
didn't
more?
say
equations.
necessarily. I simply
Okay.
said
I'll take necessarily out. That's fine. Why, if we observe complexity and simplicity in design, why would it be more probable that intellect would be involved?
It's an inductive argument, Andrew, because we don't see like randomness and chaos produce 747s. Like we see designers.
So we see incredibly complex ecosystems, right, that we don't observe direct mind involvement in, and we see 747s that we see mind involved in.
And
What's the inference? What's the inference that says intellect is more probably involved in the larger observation we make of nature
okay,
than the
atheist.
smaller examples that we see involving mind, like in human creations? What would be the inference?
Yeah, no, that's a fair rebuttal. Yeah, we have plenty of examples of things that are orderly and or complex that don't seem to come from minds,
Correct.
but
So,
other mechanisms,
so
processes.
you can't even make a
And there's like a lot.
argument because of that overwhelming amount of observation that we have for stuff that doesn't have direct mind, that we don't observe direct mind involvement with, that has intricacy, complexity, simplicity. I'm just wondering what tips the scales towards probability that mind is involved.
what tips the scales towards a lack
No,
of
no.
possibility
What
that
makes it
higher
more probable that
intelligence is
mind
involved.
is involved?
Well, I can actually give a reason for that one, Travis, because as far as I can tell, most of the things in the universe that are orderly in complexity, like they don't seem to come from minds. I mean, it's a very small subset of things that are orderly and or complex that seem to come from minds.
Well, when you
If you think
say
the whole
seem
universe is
to come
designed,
from
what is it?
minds,
What would you even be looking for
so
what does something
what would be
undesigned look like,
hold
sir?
on,
He's got.
what would be
We've
an
given him. Let's let
example?
Travis respond. We've given him a lot. Go ahead, Travis.
What would be an example of something complex that doesn't appear?
A
Because you're saying
snowflake.
appear. That's a very subjective term.
Yeah, no, snowflakes, any other kind of crystal, planet
No,
stars, biological
no. Let
organisms.
me clarify to Travis. There are things that we observe mind directly involved in. We directly observe mind in the creation of things. And we observe things like them that closely resemble them, right? Now we observe a much larger scale of things that have complexity, function, patterns, and all that kind of stuff. And we don't observe mind, and we don't see anything that resembles them necessarily that mind is involved in. So what's the inference you're using to say that because we observe things on a small scale that mind is involved in, why should we assume that the larger scale of things must have mind
So
involved in as well?
So, do you mean to say that your own inability to observe indicates a lack of possibility?
No, not saying that at all. We've already ruled out. I let go of the necessary language because I think that's fair in the dialectic. So now I'm trying to figure out what you think makes it more probable that mind and intellect must be involved in the design of everything that we see around us.
But I also didn't say probable. You're putting words in
Oh,
my
so
mouth.
it's not as
All
so
I
it's not
said
as
is that
probable. Okay. Okay.
an argument could be made
Yeah,
for
what's the argument?
higher intelligence in design.
Please give that
That's
argument.
high. That would be making it more probable, right? That if there's design, there's a higher intelligence.
What's the
No,
argument?
an argument being the possibility of an argument being made
Oh, so
does
there's the
not necessarily
possibility of an argument.
follow.
It does sound like an intuitive idea, man, but I think it breaks apart easily under like empirical investigation or if we take into account like our knowledge of science today.
Sir, are you making the claim that complexity is evidence for for a god or not?
I didn't realize that we were singling in on anybody making any particular
Sir,
claim.
do you have any evidence for God?
Don't say complexity, Travis. Whatever you do, don't say complexity.
Travis, do
I
you
think
think
that
that the
that's a very
complexity
complex
in the universe,
question.
do you think the
I think that's a
complexity in the
complex
universe is
question, and
evidence for
it's.
a mind?
I think it's a complex question.
So what's your answer? Look, it's yes or no.
But,
Either you do think that complexity is evidence for God or you don't
but,
believe. There's no option that's
things
in between,
things
sir.
things are not so black and white. I believe that it is possible that there could be evidence for
Yeah,
God.
sir, I believe that's not, you're not saying anything when you say that. I believe it's possible there's a fucking unicorn standing next to you right now, right? You're not saying anything when you say
Well,
that.
if you
Do you
believe that
believe
it's
it?
possible that
Look,
there's a unicorn sitting next to me, that's objectively retarded. I don't think that it's retarded to
oh,
say
it's
that
impossible? It's impossible?
yeah,
Why is it impossible?
because there are
You're
no
saying a god is
unicorns.
possible, but
But it's
gods are possible, but unicorns
documented.
aren't?
Yeah,
Wait, what's the argument for that? It's possible that
Unicorn is
God exists,
silly.
but it's not possible that a unicorn exists?
the
God is a
only
much more
way.
extraordinary claim.
Go ahead.
God is a much more extraordinary claim than a fucking unicorn,
Yeah,
sir,
but
right?
what's the reason? What's the reason that a unicorn would exist? There's a reason that God would exist. There's a purpose. What's the purpose for a unicorn to exist?
Unicorns could have lots of purposes. It could be like, look, invisible unicorns, their purpose might be they come and sprinkle pixie dust on you at
Yeah, so
night
not.
to make you fall into a deep
You know,
sleep. I was answering a question.
I feel like people are being deliberately antagonistic here.
Wait, so Godless, you believe the Tooth Fairy could possibly exist too?
Yeah, what's the argument that that's impossible?
So you believe the Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, all of them can be possible to exist?
What kind of possibility are we talking about? Like a logical possibility or a physical possibility? What kind of metaphysical
Well,
possibility?
it's a
What kind?
possibility. You think that the Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, all those things could be possibly real?
Sorry, what kind of possibility did you say we're talking about?
Well, whatever possibility you want to use.
Okay, well, the broadest one would be logically possible, right? Logically possible just means that it doesn't entail a contradiction. And no, I don't think there's a contradiction in like a unicorn or a fairy or a Santa Claus existing.
I mean, from what I know, I don't think it's possible that Santa Claus is logically possible. I mean,
What's the
that's
argument for that?
well, it's a story. It's a Christmas story. Like, why would
You're
why
just
would you think?
restating the claim. You're just restating the claim that it's look saying it's a story. It's some there's some stories that are possibly true, right? So saying it's a story isn't answering the question.
I disagree, but
Do you think that there's some stories that are possibly true?
yes, but to say Santa
Okay,
Claus
so
is
do you think that
logically
you're answering when if I ask you how do you know it's impossible and somebody says it's a story, do you think that's answering the question?
well, what I mean in the context of a story is that it's something that is silly.
Okay, so
Santa,
what's the argument that silly things cannot be true?
we're talking about Santa Claus. Santa
Yeah, what's
Claus,
the argument that it's impossible?
nobody's proven it.
That's not an argument that it's impossible. Look, things that haven't been proven can still be true, right?
Well, yeah, but the Santa Claus thing is just silly.
Oh my God, sir, do you have an argument or not? That asserting something is silly is not an argument. Do you have an argument? Okay, he doesn't have any arguments. Back to Travis. Do you have an argument that complexity is evidence for God, sir? Do you have any
Uh,
arguments for God?
I mean, first, for anything coming into existence in the first place, there has to be something that causes it to come into existence. You know, effects
Well, sir,
clearly,
look,
like effects always have causes,
well, first of all, I don't know
right?
how you're gonna be able to, sir. I don't know how you're gonna be able to substantiate that because first of all, there's a lot of physicists that say there's randomness on the quantum level. like
Uh-huh.
particles popping into and out of existence randomly without a cause. But put that aside, right? There's also
Uh-huh.
the fact that let's just grant, even if I did grant you that everything in our universe that we've observed, everything that we've observed has a cause.
Yeah.
That could just be because of the natural physical laws of the universe, right? And
So what created
sir, I'm
those
not finished. I'm
natural
gonna
physical laws?
I'm gonna machine gun you with all my points to what you just said. I'm gonna like really brutally beat down what you just said.
But the thing is
So,
you also didn't
sir,
let me
I wasn't
finish.
finished. I wasn't.
But you
Oh,
didn't let me
sorry. You wanted
finish.
to finish? Okay, go ahead, sir. You can finish. But then when you're done, I want to respond without being interrupted, please.
Okay, it would be really great if I could speak without being interrupted on Clubhouse, but I'm pretty intuitively aware of the fact that that's impossible, about as possible as you say the existence of God is. But
I never said the existence of God is impossible.
sure. Um, something has to have been the trigger point for the Big Bang, right? So the material universe comes into existence, something has to have caused that effect. In addition to that, we know that the material universe came into existence sometime in the past, right? It's just kind of a logical point that follows the notion that the Big Bang happened. So, if the material universe happened in the past, it had to have had some sort of cause.
Are you done?
You're being very dismissive.
I'm gonna respond. No, I'm not. I'm gonna respond to what you say. I just want to know if you're done because I would like to speak without being interrupted.
But you interrupted me, so I don't understand why you're getting passive
No, I just
aggressive
thought
and
you
shitty
finished.
with me.
I asked you. I wanted to be sure you were finished. That's why I asked, are you done? If you're not done, you can continue, sir. Are you done? If not, continue.
No, it's okay. I'm done. Put a fork in me.
Okay. So please don't interrupt me. So first of all, it's not even true that it might not even be true. A lot of physicists and cosmologists say that there's particles on the quantum level that pop into in and out of existence randomly without a cause, right? So, but even if I granted you for this, so that's like just a total knockdown of the shit you were saying that the universe has to have a cause right there. But so that's a total knockdown of what you were just saying. But for the sake of argument, I'm going to grant you that everything in the universe has a cause, right? Um, that could just be due to the natural physical laws in the universe that are part of the universe. So they could have just come into existence at the Big Bang. And prior to the Big Bang, those natural physical laws wouldn't have existed. So the law that every event has to have a cause wouldn't be a law prior to that law coming into existence. You moron. Another thing is, look, the Big Bang, there could have been some prior state. The Big Bang is just as far back as we can see. There could have been some prior state that caused the Big Bang prior to the Big Bang. It also could be the case that we live in an oscillating universe. So right now we know that the universe is expanding, but they say one day it will contract and implode in on itself. So it could have actually had an infinite past, right? The universe could be past eternal, or that's another point. I'll get to that. But there could have been an infinite. So every time it collapses in on itself, that might result in another Big Bang, and then that universe does the same thing, expands, collapses,
Hmm.
collapses in on itself, another Big Bang. That could have happened an infinite number of times, and we also don't know that the Big Bang is true, right? They can't prove that. There's since, and actually we have somebody with a PhD in physics that comes around. I wasn't finished, sorry, you're interrupting. We have somebody named Dan Linford with a PhD in physics comes around here, and he says it's actually a very common misconception. The physicists think that the Big Bang, that the universe is not past eternal, right? So another option is the universe could be past eternal. It doesn't necessarily have to have a cause, but also we might live in a multiverse. So all these physicists have these theories about multiverses. Maybe there's a bubble verse, right, with an infinite number of universes, and universes are coming in and out of existence. Maybe some of them are causing the other ones. Who fucking knows? You don't know, right?
Think there
Another
could
thing is, look, if maybe nothing existed, right? Nothing existed, and if nothing existed, nothing being the absence of everything existed. If nothing existed, the absence of everything, then what would be the thing preventing something from popping into existence? Now, I want the room to know. Watch him dodge the question, sir. If nothing existed, what would be the thing preventing something from popping into existence? Did you guys see that brutal, like 4 minute long rebuttal of his claim? Did you guys see that? That was brutal. That was great. Oh my God, I love
So
myself.
the thing is
Go
that
ahead.
you're using
Go
a
ahead,
whole
sir. Go ahead,
Mhm.
sir.
You're using a whole lot of maybes, and so for all of these hypotheticals that you're offering, there is a level of faith that you have to have that those are possibilities. And so I think that using your faith to combat somebody else's faith might be a bit of a waste of everybody's time.
Okay, did you notice he didn't respond to one point I made? And
I mean,
I'm just saying those things are
I can
possible.
respond to one or two of the
Oh,
points
okay.
that you
I asked
made,
you a
sure.
question, sir. You're being rude. You haven't answered my question. So
So
if
what's your
nothing existed,
question?
what would be the thing? Yeah, if nothing existed, what would be the thing preventing something from popping into existence, such as the universe?
I mean, according to the natural laws that
If nothing
are
exists, there are no
observable,
natural
there's
laws, sir.
nothing.
If there's the absence of everything, there's no natural laws.
Okay, if God exists, then there's no
You're not answering
argument
the
that could be
question.
made on behalf of this nothing. The thing is you're using circular
You're
logic.
evading the question, sir. You said you were going to answer my question. If nothing existed, what would be the thing preventing the universe from popping into existence?
The thing is that none of those points are
Did you see him dodge?
verifiable anymore.
Did you see
None
him
of those
dodge?
points are verifiable. See, you're cutting me off.
You're not answering the question. You said you would
But
answer.
you're
Why'd
you're
you
cutting me
lie?
off.
Okay, sir,
You're
what's
cutting
the
me
answer?
off.
If nothing existed, what would be the thing that was preventing the universe from popping into existence? You go ahead, answer the question.
You're being very condescending.
Stop being a whiny little bitch and answer the question, sir.
I
Godless
mean,
is
if you're capable of allowing somebody to answer a question without throwing out an ad hom attack, maybe I
Excuse me,
could.
sir, you're just confused about what an ad hominem is. So an ad hominem fallacy.
No, you've called me a moron, and calling me a moron, that's an ad hom attack.
No, sir. I'll explain to you
It
what an ad
is.
hominem is. I'm going to
Absolutely it
explain
is.
to you. You're mistaken, sir. I'll
You
clearly
know,
explain to you.
I'm
I'm
beginning
going
to
to
think that perhaps
Travis, go ahead.
you
Travis, answer
are.
your question, Travis. Okay.
look.
No,
Can
I
I
mean,
please explain
I'm
to you what
beginning
an
to
ad
think that
hominem is,
perhaps
sir?
I'm beginning to think that you might be trolling and wasting everybody's time, and that would be really
Yeah, you're just
unfortunate.
looking for you just want to run away, sir. But I'll explain to you what an ad hominem is. So an ad hominem is when
I
you
don't need you
dismiss somebody's
to.
argument.
I don't need
Sir,
you to
you're interrupting.
explain
You're
what
being
an ad
rude.
hominem is.
Ex-
See, you've
You're
been rude
confused.
for this
You're
entire fucking
confused.
conversation.
You're
You
confused. Being
insane
rude is not an
deranged
ad
bitch.
hominem. You're sir, being rude is not an ad hominem. I'm
You
going to explain to
you
you.
you
We
have
can
called
Google
me a
it.
moron. You have
Yeah,
called me
that's
a
not an ad
moron,
hominem.
and you
I
have
didn't.
cut me
It
off,
wasn't an
and
ad
then
hominem,
accused me of cutting you off.
sir.
You're insane. You're
Sir,
insane,
sir. An ad hominem is when you dismiss
ma'am,
somebody's argument in
ma'am,
virtue of their character.
ma'am, ma'am, ma'am.
Travis, do you want to answer the question? Please stop and answer the question.
No, I want to. I
No, but
would
the
like
thing
to
is
explain what
that
an ad
she
hominem
has
is.
already established. We're talking about things that can't be established, but she has established that it's impossible to have a conversation with her without her cutting
Sir,
you off,
please calm
and then getting
down.
upset whenever you cut her
Travis,
off.
just calm down, bro. Why are you so angry like this?
No, it's
Yeah,
narcissistic behavior. Clearly, she has some fucking issues that
sir,
she needs to address.
sir. An ad hominem is when you dismiss somebody's
Ma'am,
argument in virtue of
ma'am,
attacking their character. So if
ma'am,
you say this guy has a
ma'am,
history of being a moron, therefore
ma'am,
we shouldn't listen to him,
ma'am,
that's an ad hominem.
ma'am,
But when
ma'am,
he's,
ma'am,
he's like having a meltdown, sir, please calm down. It's okay.
ma'am,
It's okay if you were mistaken about what an ad
ma'am,
hominem
ma'am.
is. You were so
I understand that you feel very disenfranchised because you're a woman and you feel like you have to prove yourself in a space full of men, but you don't need to cut people off and you don't need to call people names.
It's really funny that you said that because I'm actually an anti-feminist, and I was just getting attacked by my community on here for being an anti-feminist. I think that you need to mildly oppress women like they were like in the 60s or 70s. Otherwise, you get these crazy third-wave feminists popping up. And I do think that generally speaking, men are intellectually superior to men, sir. But in this particular case, you certainly are not intellectually superior to me, sir. You have been
I
brutally
am
intellectually bullied.
very
You were
confident.
intellectually bullied.
Ma'am,
You were
ma'am,
intellect.
ma'am, ma'am,
You were brutally. It was a brutal
ma'am,
humiliation, and you were brutally
ma'am,
humiliated and destroyed.
ma'am,
Are you embarrassed,
ma'am.
sir?
Are you destroying me with facts and logic? Are you Ben Shapiro now?
Imagine if your friend saw this, or do you have a girlfriend?
Fuck
Imagine if your girlfriend saw this. How
yeah.
embarrassed you would
Fuck
be.
yeah.
You know how stupid I made you look? I made you look so fucking stupid.
Destroy me. Destroy my cunt.
Travis is having a
Thank you,
meltdown, guys.
mommy. Thank you, mommy.
Wait,
Sir,
Thank you, mommy.
do you have any evidence for God, sir? Because I think I gave you like a 4-minute rebuttal to the other shit you said. So do you want to try another route, sir? Do you have a different
It
argument?
was 4 minutes of bloviating bullshit, is what it
You didn't
was.
even. You still haven't answered the question. Remember, I told you. I told the room. Remember, guys, I told you he's not going to
You
answer the
you
question.
took you took a very, very, very bland and mild take on my part, and then you gave me like 5 bland and mild takes on your part, and now you're acting like you've destroyed me. And I think that you know, maybe you need to step up your game.
Okay, so remember, guy, I'm talking to the room now. Remember, I told you he's not going to be answered. Before I even asked the question, I said he's not going to be able to answer the question. And I said, so I want the room to notice he won't answer the question. Everybody watch. And I said, sir, if nothing exists, nothing being the absence of everything, then what is the thing preventing something from popping into existence, such as the universe? And he did attempt to answer. He tried to say natural physical laws. What a moron, right? What a stupid, retarded, asinine, moronic fool. I had to point out to him that if nothing exists, nothing being the absence of everything, then natural physical laws don't exist. So it can't be in virtue of natural physical laws that's preventing
Ma'am,
something from popping into existence.
ma'am, 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 you
So
interrupted
everybody,
me. I wasn't able to finish speaking, ma'am. Ma'am,
he started to see he's just been totally reduced to memeing because I took out a bat
ma'am,
intellectually.
ma'am,
I
you
beat this guy
interrupted me. I
to a
wasn't able
bloody
to finish speaking, ma'am. Ma'am,
he was beaten to a
ma'am,
bloody pulp. I took out a bat
ma'am,
and
Do
beat
you
him
think that way,
ma'am, I
intellectually to a
wasn't
Godless?
bloody
able
You're
to
pulp.
finish
beating yourself
speaking.
into a bloody pulp.
And
Ma'am, I
now,
wasn't
like,
able to
did you
finish
see he started off like he had this like, oh, I'm
Ma'am,
intelligent. He
ma'am,
started off like all serious and oh, I'm gonna have an intelligent
ma'am.
conversation tone. Sir, please
Well, it's
calm down.
impossible to have an intelligent conversation with an unintelligent woman.
Sir, do you have an answer to the question? If nothing exists,
So
what's the thing?
if any respectable, intelligent people in here would like to have a conversation with me, I would welcome the opportunity. Andricus was making some pretty good arguments.
Are you a homosexual, Travis?
Am I a homosexual? Is your mother a
Yeah.
Sharmuta?
Is your mom a homosexual?
Yeah, your mom's a whore. That's good to
Are you
know. I'll hit her
are
up
you
next time I'm in the UK. Okay.
are you a homosexual?
Is your mother a whore?
Answer my question.
Wow, that's the end.
The answer to both of those questions is the same.
Sir, you never answered the question. Remember, guys, I told you he wouldn't answer the question. If nothing exists, what is the thing preventing something from popping into existence?
What is the thing preventing something from popping into existence? I suppose nothing.
Okay, so if nothing is preventing something from popping into existence,
Mhm.
then something might pop into existence, sir.
It could
There's no
happen.
reason. If
You
there's
know,
no
but you
reason,
know how much faith
sir, try to
it
stick with me here.
requires to operate. You
Try
know
to
how much
stick with
faith
me
it
here.
requires to operate on the assumption that nothing existed. Because we
I'm
have
not
no
assuming that.
evidence that there was
I
ever
never
a
assumed
point in
that.
time. Yeah, but
I
we have
never
no
assumed that.
evidence that there was ever a point in time that nothing existed.
Yeah, we
So
don't
if
have
you're
any evidence
making
for
the
God either.
argument,
Yeah,
but
we
if you're
don't have any
making the
evidence for God,
argument,
sir.
ma'am, you're not letting me finish.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. So, to operate on the assumption that nothing existed requires just as much faith as operating on the assumption that God created something out of nothing. The thing is that none of us know, and making an assertion that any theory is objectively not possible is narcissistic.
Are you done?
Is Travis a Christian godless or what? Is he?
I don't know. He's so like scared to make claims. Look,
No, I'm not a
look, sir.
Christian.
I never.
Wait,
He
wait.
believes in God, Adam.
No, I'm a good
Hey,
old-fashioned
Adam. You know what? Maybe you
agnostic.
can
I
help this
just
guy
think
out. Aren't
that
you good with the Kalam,
your
Adam? Aren't you? Maybe
arguments
you
are
can help this
bad.
guy out. Did you hear, Adam? Did you hear this guy's fucking gimpy, pathetic version of the Kalam cosmological argument? It was despicable. It was sad, wasn't it sad? Maybe you can help him, Adam.
Help me, Adam. Help me, Daddy. I really need help. Thank
Wait,
you.
Adam, I got something to ask you real quick. Did you say that Travis like question was dumb, or what did you say
Oh,
earlier?
Adam,
I don't know.
Adam, did you see me wipe the floor with that guy?
yeah. He didn't answer anything. Yeah, you did a good job. But
You don't wipe the floor if you brag about it. You didn't wipe the floor for
What?
anything.
Wait,
Whatever.
Adam.
Children brag.
I mean, Travis.
Wait, Adam, if you
Travis was just having a meltdown. Yeah.
All he could do, he was just reduced to memeing. Did you see? He
The
started
thing
off.
is that whenever
Sir, can I
you
finish?
are
I'm talking to
interrupting
Adam.
and memeing me, whenever you were interrupting me,
Sir,
ma'am, you didn't let me finish talking, ma'am. I need you to let me finish
I
talking, ma'am.
did.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. I would appreciate it if you would let me finish
Okay, can
talking.
we
It's
just
very
start
Shut
rude
with
to
the
like
fuck
interrupt
up,
me,
man. You're
ma'am.
pure
homosexual.
meme?
Shut
We are
up.
about pure
No,
meme.
he's not a homosexual. He's
Intelligent.
just. Hey, you're from San Francisco?
I do
Okay,
live in the Bay Area, thanks.
Yeah. See,
Andrew,
Um,
I'm done.
I
so
know.
so the thing
it's a
is,
Bay Area accent. I
children,
knew it. I'm from
yeah,
Oakland.
you're from
Andricus, I'm
Oakland.
done ramming my
I'm
spiked
sorry.
dildo up this
I'm
guy's
sorry
ass.
to hear that
You
you're from
want to
Oakland,
stop a
toxic.
second?
I am going to
Right.
come in your mouth.
I moved him to the audience for making threats.
Thank you.
Travis, I also want to inform you of something. I have a YouTube channel, and
Hmm.
this debate, the replays are on. This debate with me and you, is going on the channel, and you're gonna look. It's gonna be like really embarrassing. It's gonna be immortalized for eternity on the internet.
No, I'm very excited for that,
People are gonna be
actually.
laughing at you. I'm gonna send you the link after I upload it, so you can read the comments of everybody making fun of you.
Thank you, mommy.
How do you have so little self-awareness to not realize that people would laugh at you bragging as if you accomplished anything whatsoever?
Not my
It's
YouTube
insane to me.
audience. My YouTube audience is gonna be laughing at this guy.
Well,
So
Did
they're
you
the
see
like
he
you
thing,
then,
the
started
thing
out?
that
the
you have to
system.
understand. So, Jarl, the thing that you have to understand is that women have no self-awareness. Um, Objectively inferior. That's why it's better for men to have sex with men, by the way. Um,
See, I told you, Gigi, the homosexuals are way bigger misogynist than we are.
Good. Travis, did you see you started off all serious, like you were gonna have an intelligent conversation, and when you realized what an
Well,
intellectual bully I was, you got so brutally beaten up, and you were just like reduced to
no, so the
memeing.
thing is
You
that
were reduced to memeing.
I
It's
realized
pathetic.
that all
Are
that's
you
going to
embarrassed?
happen in this room. No, well, I came to this room thinking that arguments were happening in good faith because you have intelligent people like Andricus in here, but then, I have a woman that's cutting me off, I have a woman that's calling me names whenever I'm trying to engage in good faith. So at what point in time would anybody decide after that to continue to engage in good faith? There's no reason to.
Oh, but do you not realize how transparent it is that you're just using that as an excuse because you don't have an
No,
answer to my
it's
questions
very
or my
it's very
objections?
trans and no, it's very transparent that you are trolling and that you're picking on people, and that's okay. I'm down for a troll.
I'm
I
not
love the
trolling, sir.
trolls.
These are my real positions.
Oh, okay, so you're retarded.
What did I say that was retarded?
No, I mean, it's okay if you're mentally disabled. I'm sorry, I shouldn't use the R slur.
What did I say that indicated I
I
was
didn't
mentally
mean to be
disabled?
ableist. I'm drinking.
What did I say that was retarded, sir?
Your inability to read social cues does come off as a little bit autistic.
Oh, sir, stop being a whiny, moralizing little bitch.
I'm just saying facts.
Not like, if you want to cut people off and then act like you win, I enjoy Ben Shapiro's content as well. I think that he's very entertaining. But serious people who debate are capable of having a serious conversation without calling each other names or cutting each other off.
Sir, remember I agreed to not interrupt you, and I let you go on for a long time. And when you stopped, I even said, "Are you
But then
done?" To
you
be sure you
you
were done.
continued to interrupt.
Okay,
There's
sir.
not been a
Okay, so
point in time that
do you
you
have
have
an
not
answer to the question
interrupted me
yet?
in this conversation.
Yes, there
Like there
was.
hasn't there hasn't been a single point in time that you've allowed me to finish a thought.
That's not true. I let you go on for a long time, and when you stopped, I even said, "Are you done?" and offered you more time if you weren't done.
Okay.
So, sir, you can have. Look, I'm
Yeah.
gonna ask a question, and then I'm gonna mute my mic.
I surrender. You were so much,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah,
much more
yeah.
intelligent
So
than
when you
me.
say you surrender, you're just getting down on the floor in a fetal position, sir. Well, I'm beating
Yeah.
you.
Beat me, mommy.
The
Thank
super
you.
intelligent people over enunciate the end of every sentence.
No, so the thing is that the over-enunciation comes from my interest in theater and my interest in musicals.
And from the city.
So
I fuck with that. I appreciate a man that can.
No, Traps, don't take it personally though. Usually like really mean to people when they first come around, but then they
No,
become
it's
my friend.
okay. I understand.
Have any other weird beliefs besides God, like ghosts or like Bigfoot or aliens or any of that shit?
No, I actually, I was devil's advocating. I don't believe in God, but um, I think that it's good and healthy to have good arguments with people on the internet. But
Yeah, I do that all the time.
also, it's only possible to do that in a space where people are engaging with good faith.
Why is that? Why is it
Like
only possible?
it's been shown to me that this is a space wherein it's okay to troll, and that's okay. It's fine to troll. I don't have a problem with trolling. If you want to troll, you can troll.
What part of what was? Do you think I don't believe something I said?
No, I think that you are taking your beliefs, but then over asserting them for entertainment value. And I think that there's nothing wrong with over asserting yourself
What
for
does that
entertainment
mean?
value.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to understand what you mean. What do you mean by
Mhm.
over asserting my beliefs? What does that mean?
So I would consider it an over assertion of your beliefs whenever you call somebody a moron for disagreeing with you.
How is that asserting a belief?
It's an over assertion because asserting
A
your
belief?
belief is just fine. There's nothing wrong with asserting your belief. People who assert their beliefs speak confidently and they engage the intellectual material and they fight the intellectual arguments intellectually without insulting other people. Um,
I don't know what the argument for that is, right? Like an intellectual, it's
mhm,
impossible for an intellectual to call someone a moron. But look, a belief is just a proposition that you hold to be true.
mhm,
So asserting a
mhm,
belief is just to
mhm,
claim that a
mhm,
proposition is true. So I don't know how
mhm,
calling somebody a moron is
mhm,
like asserting your beliefs on them. Like
mhm,
you can assert beliefs and then add
mhm,
insults. That doesn't mean you're
mhm,
overly asserting your beliefs because you add an
mhm.
insult.
No, that's exactly what it means actually.
What's the argument for that?
So an over assertion would be asserting yourself and then adding anything beyond your assertion to insult or antagonize or to try to force a situation wherein somebody's going to get upset.
Okay, so when you say I overassert, all you're saying is you're just using that synonymously with me insulting you?
No, I mean, you've been insulting other people. It's not just me.
Yeah, so but you're just taking overassert to be synonymous with insult?
Like, you were insulting poor Robot, and Robot seems like a very nice little Christian. There's nothing
Sir,
wrong with his
why are you
beliefs.
evading the question? Are you
He's
just taking
here
overassert?
he's here
Are you just
trying to
taking
defend his faith, and you're here trying to poke at him, and I think that's mean.
are
Well,
you
Travis, I think Godless is probably trolling this whole time, but
do you think that
Do you think
overassert,
I'm trolling, Robot?
I'm talking
sir,
about no
do you think
Godless. I think Godless is trolling.
You think Godless is trolling?
Yeah.
I think that you're probably right.
well, what do you mean by trolling, right? But I want to get back to we can talk about that in a second, but I just want to point out, if you're just taking overassert to be synonymous with insult, then you're not even saying
No,
anything when you say overassert. Like,
no,
obviously I was
no. I'm not
insulting you,
saying
of
that
course.
assertive is synonymous
I
with
said overassert.
insulting.
You said
Yeah.
overassert is
So
insulting.
an overassertion would be taking your assertion, yeah, and then pushing it and pushing it and pushing it to the point that you were trying to make people feel stupid for disagreeing and
Oh
trying to
yeah,
make
I agree
people
with
feel
Slim.
yeah.
Definitely.
So
Yeah.
trying to make people feel stupid isn't actually a successful way to change minds.
I'm not trying to change minds. I'm trying to I'm like I've taken up
You're
apologetics
not
upon
trying to change
apologetics.
minds.
No, fuck no. I'm here for entertainment. I'm an intellectual bully, sir.
Okay. So
And you got intellectually bullied by me, and you
so
were
so what
embarrassed.
so what is yeah, I'm very embarrassed. I'm gonna jerk
Yo,
off to this
Dallas,
later.
I
What's up?
got a quick break from work. I got your message. You
Mhm.
want to do the explanation of particularism an hour or some other time? What do you want to do?
Hmm.
Um, it's probably gonna. So, David, you know how I know like a lot of philosophy and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, I've done a lot of drugs since I learned it. So to obtain the new information, I think somebody tried to explain this particular shit to me before, and I didn't understand it. So I think it's gonna take more than one session. So if please have patience with me, and can you
Sure.
try to explain? And Travis, you can just leave because this shit's gonna be way over your head. You're not gonna understand any of this shit. So get out of here, Travis. Go. Let the adults talk. You go run along. Go ahead, David.
Go and get. Yeah, so I'll just lay out super short in the context of the POC what it means. Very simple. And I also, before